We're getting pretty close to peak bird migration season. And with that in mind, there are some fascinating facts and statistics and some cool phenomena that bird migration actually follows. So first things first, bird migration can sometimes be seen on radar. The sheer number of birds migrating, sometimes in the millions, could be picked up by our Doppler radar as it sends a signal out looking to try to hear for any sort of precipitation. But sometimes birds reflect that sound back, and if they're in a big enough flock, well, sometimes on our First Alert Weather app, you could see a little green blip where there is no precipitation. Instead, that's just a flock of birds. Next thing, a lot of these birds like to fly after sunset and through the night, and it makes total sense when you come to think about it. When it comes to our daytime air, well, it's very bumpy because there's a lot of upward movement thanks to radiation and convection. But once we get towards the night, that air starts to cool and becomes a lot more stable, and there is a lot less turbulence. So if you're flying on a plane, you may want to pick the night route rather than the day route, but hey, red eyes are a thing. But overall, that is why you see a lot of birds fly at night. And next up, a cold front has a dramatic increase in the amount of birds flying. And the reason is because of obviously tailwind. That is really something that makes a big impact. For example, earlier this month, one day had 500,000 birds fly over the state of Illinois. But the day after, a cold front came through, and that night, over 10 million birds were caught flying over the state of Illinois. So a dramatic increase, and that is because wind shifted out of the north, and of course birds are heading south for the winter, and having a tailwind really helps them use a little bit less energy as they are flying. Last but not least, we do have some birds that are going to be peaking heading into September, and that will be songbirds and our night hawks, which if you head out the door or sit outside during the evening hours and overnight, you may potentially see them flying across the state line. But we do have a cold front coming tomorrow, and with it, maybe a few showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder are expected towards tomorrow afternoon. But once we get towards the evening hours, I do anticipate us to pretty much be on the clear side. So this is a perfect opportunity to either look on our First Alert Weather app radar and see maybe some blips that aren't necessarily rain, but instead are birds that are flying. Of course, it's after sunset, or you can go sit outside and look up and hopefully see some of those migrating birds.